Clive's bought his E46 M3 into us at Reedish Motorsport for the subframe repair and reinforcement process on a 55 plate, 2005, with 50,000 miles. So we're going to be doing a repair and reinforcement process and a few other upgrades: Powerflex subframe bushes, Rogue engineering, control arms, rear camber arms, and a few upgrades. The car's being exported to Australia in a few weeks' time, so Clive wanted us to carry out the repair and reinforcement plates before it goes, just to make sure that that is fully reinforced and going to be a lifetime repair. And also we'll put the BMW structural foam into the rear cavities as well. So we're partway through Clive's E46 M3 subframe repair and reinforcement process on the rear axle carrier panel, and we've identified one spot weld which had popped on the offside front. This is a 2005, by the way, 55 plate, 49,000 miles, 2005. One popped spot weld, a couple that had showed signs of flexing, because you can see that they'd corroded around, but we've checked those and they haven't popped. That one's okay. This one had, which is where the bush impacts. So that one had popped, so we've drilled that one out so we can weld, penetrate, plug weld, rosette weld into the inner sleeve, and then pull that around the outer skin and also into our reinforcement plate as well. And then we've seen the common hairline crack starting where the pins just pivot in and move in, and trying to bounce up and down. It just tries to break through this outer skin. So there's a hairline crack going around the outside. We've found the ends, stop drilled those 1.5 mil. Found exactly the same on the other side, the semicircle as well. So again, we've stop drilled those. You might just pick up the hairline crack around the edge. This one didn't have. This is the left rear floor mount. Threaded pins there. This one didn't have the crack down the side, which is quite rare, but that's probably because it was a low mileage. And interestingly, this is a 2005, so it got additional spot weld and additional MIG weld by the looks of it at the factory, because you always see in the other videos and the pictures that we do, you've got that spot weld there, that spot weld there, and in our instructions it tells you to take the seam sealer off both sides so that you can do a MIG weld, stitch welds in about 3 or 4 places to try and hold the rear axle carrier panel to the rest of the chassis. And you can see there's a gap here, and that's because there's a factory MIG weld there where they've attempted to try and hold this panel to the chassis, just like the original MIG welds there, which every car gets. This is the first time we've seen one with a factory MIG weld there. Additional spot weld there, so you've got them now a lot closer, every sort of 1.5 inches. So that's a new spot weld that most cars didn't get, and there's also another one just in there, which not many people get as well. Our Reedish Motorsport reinforcement plates are now welded on after the hairline cracks were found and stop drilled and then welded closed again. That's the near side front, that's the offside front, that's the offside rear, and that's the near side rear. The repair and reinforcement process is now finished. We've had 1 layer of etch primer and 1 layer of Worth sprayable seam sealer. You see we go around the perimeter of the plates first, and then after that we do a light spray all the way over to try and replicate the factory BMW finish. Got the little spacer plates there as well. That's the right front mount, right rear mount, and we also took off the edge of the OEM seam sealer here, which was flaking and starting to corrode on both sides, and then we've re-seamed that as well to try and help protect that for future years. That's the left rear, and then we go out into the arch as well and blend in just to replicate that BMW. There's our line there, about 1 inch of it, and then that's the BMW original, so fairly similar. We've just done our body colour now, which is carbon black, over the offside front mount, and reinstalled the handbrake guide tubes. left front mount there. Drop the brake line, the right hand side join one because it's a little bit corroded, even though it came undone okay. A bit corroded, so whilst it's down we'll put a new brake pipe on there. We've got quite a bit of glare here, but the floor is now coloured in the same body colour, which is carbon black, and blended up into the wheel arches. Completed on Clive's M3 now. We've done the exhaust rubber on the right side of the exhaust box with new copper nuts, the new OEM style flange kit with the collets, which have got anti-seize paste over them at the moment to keep them good for years to come. Powerflex subframe bushes, and you just see the outline of the British Motorsport reinforcement plate kit. Floor's being painted as well. Clive supplied some used camber arms, rear ones, Rogue Engineering, so we've put those on. Installed new ball joints as well, and nuts and bolts. We've done a diff seal as well, front diff input seal because that was leaking. Some new nuts, copper nuts, BMW bolts on the centre exhaust joint because they'd corroded to nothing, and new copper nuts on the downpipe. Just going to finish off an engine oil and filter change and full wheel alignment. Just about to do the second structural foam on Clive's E46 M3. We've already done one into the left rear. This is about to start the second, and then we're going to go on and do two more in the right rear. That's two completely deployed in the left rear cavity. You might just be able to see there, we've got it to the roof of the lower cavity, which is where it needs to go. And within about 10 minutes there'll be an exothermic reaction which will start that raising and expanding. So that's now two installed in the right rear side as well, so that rear cavity is completely filled. And we're just starting to get a bit of a reaction here. It's just starting to raise. There we go, the exothermic reaction is happening now, so it's expanded in volume, anywhere between 10 and 30%, so the data sheet says. So you know that's going all the way across the beams now, because we've dead-ended in the middle, dead-ended in the upper section, and that'll be surrounding that threaded mount. So I need to now push some of this down and put the bung in before it all starts trying to come out and make a mess. Confirmation of the right rear side exothermic reaction is taking place. You see that travelling, expanding by volume and filling the cavity. This is the only open hole, so naturally it wants to come out. So again, we'll push this back in, put the bung on, and that will set over 24 hours. So that's it, structural foam done on Clive's M3. And we used 4 tubes, 2 in the left, 2 in the rear. That's the pneumatic tool, and that's the last one with the tube on it. And we always keep that tube on, let it set naturally over 24 hours. We take the Jubilee clips off and we give that tube to the customer. Sometimes we cut the tube off and just give the structural foam, just so that people have got an idea of what it is in their car, how it feels, how hard it is. It's just a nice momentum.